Hello Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, I go by Emma Illustrates. If you're a returning viewer, then welcome. If you're a new viewer, and there's quite a few of you now, then welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's still going to be a regular Flosstube, but I'm combining both August and September into one because I haven't been able to record August's video because I had a procedure done at the end of the month. I then got sick the week after or a couple of weeks after, and so I've only just started to feel well enough to be able to record. I've been streaming over on Twitch whilst I've been sick, but to sit down and record a video I needed to feel a lot better. But let's just kick it off. This month we're gonna start with August, and we had quite a few new starts. I have misplaced one of them, technically two, because one of them's a finish, but I did misplace Saga by Long Dog Samplers. I don't know where it's gone. Like, I took it off my frame and I put it away, and I've put it in so away that I can't find it. So when we get to it, I'll have to insert a picture, unfortunately. Sorry. But my first finish, again, I don't have this with me, is Steampunk Fox by Barbara Anna. There's the mock-up image, and during the editing process I will insert a picture over the top of what it looks like done. Because last time you saw it, I was so close to being done. I said the next stream I did on the Wednesday it would be done, and it was. I just had to do 381 stitches and all the back stitching, and she's done. She's now had a wash, which is why she's been put away, because I washed her because she was very grubby. But she was stitched on a piece of 32 count even weave in the colourway Cloudstone by Fabric Flare, and it was stitched 2/2 full cross. I started it on the 25th of May 2023 and finished on the 8th of August, so the 6th of August 2025. So took a long time, but I don't think it was that many actual days working on her because I took 2 years off to do other things. But there's my finish. Sorry, I don't have the actual piece in my hand to show you, but I do have our next project, which is Cherry Magpie, artwork by Jessica, I want to say Doize, and I think I've said it wrong again, or JedXStitch. I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count linen in the colourway Temptation by Roxy Flosco. Oh, I'm stitching it 1/2 full cross, and I'm using the Roxy Flosco conversion that Kerry, who is the owner and dyer of Roxy Flosco, came up with, and you can find it on her Instagram at roxy.flosco. I will put a thing on the screen like I did last time, and I'll also put her Instagram in the description. If by the time you see this there is no link in the description, shout at me please and I'll add it. But yeah, so this was my plan for this, if you guys remember from my July video, was to have this done before Blueberry J came out. Now, I was meant to have recorded this video last week, the end of September. It is now the 4th of October. Not Cherry Magpie, this is Cherry Magpie. Blueberry J is now out. I have the pattern because it's now a PDF. I do not have this finished, as you can see. But I did put a ton of progress into her. I put a total of 3,014 stitches, bringing it from 15.66% to 38.74%, and I did have a really good stitching day where I put in 1,038 stitches, so that really helped to boost this number. And it's covered in cat hair, the joys of having cats. But yeah, the camera is not picking up how vibrant this fabric is, but the cherries are done. I can't remember where it was last time. When you see the before pic you'll know where we are, but I've got this plant done, I got all this done, I got the basket done. I started to do the basket. I think my plan for this after was to, because these are the cherries, these require specialty stitches, so I was going to do them at some point. Oh, I think I forgot to mention I am also using, I think I did, but just in case, I'm also using the Roxy Flosco thread conversion. I probably did once, which is hence why I mentioned Kerry, but I can't remember. My brain's all over the place today, so you'll have to forgive me if I did. But yeah, so we have these little cherries down here. We have this. The camera is washing this out a little bit because these aren't as vibrant on camera. But I love these cherries, these full coverage cherries. And I'm slowly working my way down. I did have this in that smaller nudge, so that's why it stopped here, because that's how much I could fit. But now I have it in this. I should be able to reach the bottom in this. And then this one, once this one's done, I need to order the thread and fabric for the Roxy Flosco conversion for Blueberry J. As I forgot the name then. But the called for fabric that they've used is out of stock, so I have to wait for it to come back in stock. So hopefully that gives me enough time to get this done. But this had, how many days did I work on this? 6 days. So it took me 6 days to get it from 15 to 38%. So on to our next one. So our next project is actually a new start, and it's Verdant Reverie by Sprouting Lupine. And this was started as part of a full moon stitch along that I'm taking part in. I say taking part, I don't actually post in this Discord, but in this Discord server. It is currently sitting in this Spooky Seasons project bag by Yasmin's Made with Love. I bought this last year, and look at this cute little zipper pull. Yeah, Yasmin. She's a UK based cross stitcher and owns a small business called Yasmin's Made with Love. So this is all I have done on it, really. So the point is a bit being a not full coverage, a full moon sow is we work on it when there is a full moon, and I missed one of the full moons in September because I was working on something else. Well, when I get to it, I'll tell you which one it was when we get to it, but this is all I've done so far. I did do 2 days on this, and this is just a piece of 32 count fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics. She doesn't name her fabrics, I don't have any idea what this is called. But I felt like this was the closest I could get to the called for, as you can see in this picture here. It's a little small, I know, but it's, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's by Bestitch Me. But I got this, and it's kind of close. It makes the colours pop as well, so that's nice. But yeah, I was working on this border, and I think that's the bottom as far as I could reach in my frame, because this was in a, you can see the nudge line. This was actually in the nudge that Cherry Magpie's in. I had to swap it. I was like, I need a bigger nudge. Oh, this one can go. So yeah, there's another full moon coming in October. I think it's actually this Monday. So I'll probably, depending on what I'm doing, I'll probably pull this out. If not, it doesn't really matter. This is just a for fun thing for me. But yeah, I haven't done that much on it. I've only put 760 stitches in it, bringing it from 0% again, because it was a new start, to 10.15% in just 2 days, because I did have a cheeky little start where I did 47 stitches of just this. But yeah, just stitching it on 32 count 2/2 full cross with the called for colours. I can't wait to actually get to the moss. I'm trying to do all the outside stuff first, so that way I can just do the moss. And I am missing a colour. It calls for DMC 16. I do have it in my stash, it's being used for a different project, so I'm having to like alternate between the two. So I'm hoping that this one I'm going to be showing you in a second after the next project, that I'll be able to finish that colour and have it put in this one. But yeah, so that's my very small progress, and there's my needle minders, just because I'm too lazy to take them off, because then I've got to put them back on. So back into the bag you go. Our next project, you know her, you love her, it's Ivory Crow, artwork by Margaret Morales, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Now, I have worked on this since this was meant to have been shown, so I've done all this, but when I last worked on it on stream, I think I was like up here. But, so ignoring most of this, I'll probably insert a picture of where it was, so you can reference, but ignore this. This is my stream stitching from Thursday. But she was only out for 2 stitchy sessions the last couple of months. For reasons we'll get into soon. I mean, you've already seen it on my channel. I did a stitch with me with the project. So you probably already know why this one was put to the side for a little while. But I put 327 stitches during those 2 sessions, bringing it from 3.41% to 3.51%. Wow. And this is a piece of 28 count, pre-gridded, even weave by Saga, and I'm stitching it 1/1 using the diagonal method. And we are slowly, it's a little difficult to see on camera, but this is one of the crow's wings, like up here. So you see this is the head of that leftmost crow, as that wing comes down into the head, and this is the back wing. So, oops, sorry, I just dropped my Lowry stand bit on it. But yeah, so this is, it's definitely getting there. But I was actually impressed. This past Thursday when I almost finished the diagonal, I was going to work on it some more, but I just didn't feel great. I've been having some issues lately, so this was put to the side. Then I worked on something else. So let me grab that one, which was also technically a new start, even though it's practically done. That's how behind I am. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock you guys out. My poor stream gets enough of that. Our next new start is Divine Beasts by NeeldeLot Designs. This was a stitch along on her Ko-fi. I say was because technically it's now done with, because the last part's out, which you can see down here. Don't look. We'll do this so I can only show you the first part. So this was part 1, so technically the part 0 was the frame. And I am using the called for colours except this border, as you can see. I used DMC 121, which is a very nice variegated blue. I did try my hardest to get this one, this side, the other side. So like top left, top right, bottom right. Bottom left we don't talk about because that one went horribly wrong with the colours. But all of them except for the problem child down there do this. This had the most colour changes. This vase or vase, however you want to say it. But yeah, so part 1 was a Pegasus, and this is Zeus. Nope, sorry, that's Zeus. That's Hades, and that's Cerberus. And then part 3 is Cetus, or Cetus, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And down here will be Poseidon. Look, he stole Poseidon's trident. Shh, don't tell him. But yeah, so Pegasus was the first release. I was actually really behind when this one came out. This one was about to be released when I was still working on the border, so I finished the border. And then I spent literally a week from Monday to Monday doing part 1 and part 2. I caught up so quick, but I loved stitching all of this. I did have some mistakes I was sick when I was stitching on this, okay? Don't stitch when you're sick, especially not on 40 count. So this is on, like I just said, a piece of 40 count even weave by Coffee Craft Fabrics. Again, it doesn't have a name, but when I put my things in, let me turn the light off on the webcam so you can see a little bit more accurate the fabric colours. That autofocus is going a bit nuts, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I labelled it as a dusty pink, kind of. It's like a nice colour, because I didn't know what else to pick. Because like the fabric, she gave us options, and it was like creams and blues, but not too light because of the light colours. So I just went with this, and I think it looks really nice. Lots of people in the Discord that I've been posting in have agreed that it looks really nice. And it just makes some of the colours pop, like the Pegasus, Cerberus, who is a cute 3-headed doggo with his gold eyeshadow. And each one has an element. This one doesn't really have much going on with him, but this one has an earring. This one has a necklace. This one, they all technically have golden bangles on their wrists. But he is a good doggo. And he protects the key. Don't know what the key's for. but who knows. And then yeah, Cetus. So part 1 was Pegasus. I don't have a thing for part 3 because I haven't finished it, so I'll go over that when I finish it at the end of October. So part 2, there we are. And then part 3 will happen. I'm slowly working on this. I actually started this on Wednesday when the third part dropped, and I've done most of this. I did work on it the other day as well, Thursday actually. This is why I stopped working on, that's why I didn't finish the diagonal on Ivory Crow, because I wanted to work on this some more. Look at the bubbles, there are more bubbles. I wish I had part 3's picture. I don't, but yeah, there's the bubbles. Then you have the trident, and then you have the loop-de-loop. I did that the wrong way around, the loop-de-loop. But he's so nice, and NeeldeLot Designs has so many amazing patterns. This, I should say, was a exclusive sale on her Ko-fi, as in Kofi. And you had to be a member of the Kato Rancher tier, and each part was free. And now, if you want, this one's still technically free because October hasn't finished, but once October finishes, each of these I think costs €5 or whatever that would be in your currency. I think actually it doesn't change. It's just €5 per pattern. So 5 for this, 5 for that, and 5 for this. But because I've been a member of her Kato Rancher tier since the beginning, these were all free. All the time I had an active membership. But I do highly recommend signing up for her Ko-fi membership because, like I said, €5 a month, and you get amazing charts. And they're not smalls, like these are considered smalls because they're stitch along, but her regular patterns in her shop are amazing. But let me go over stats real quick before I forget. So I started this. I don't remember when I started this, I'm sorry. I don't know why I started with that. But during the months of August and September, I put in a total of 8,316 stitches, bringing it from 0% to 100% with just these two parts. This one wasn't out yet, so parts 1 and 2 and the frame was 8,316 total stitches, which was nice because it was a nice little break between projects. And it took me 12 days to complete parts 1 and 2 and the frame, but 7 to do parts 1 and 2. But yeah, and like I said, called for colours except for the border. This is the reason I don't have the 16 for the last project. It's right here. I have some there, and I think some of these bubbles have it too. So this is either 16 or 13. I'll have to see, and if I get 13 out of the way or 16 out of the way so I can give it to the other project. And the only things I've changed, like I said, is the border. I would use 121, and I was inspired by a Flosstube stitched by Liz. I want to say her username is. Let me just double check before. Sorry, I'm just looking through my playlist of many Flosstubes. Stitched by Liz, yeah. There we have it. So she inspired me to stitch my border. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't do the corners with the gold because I just couldn't be bothered. I only used it on the names, and that's a PB01 or Petite. Nope, Rainbow. Oh my god, what's it called? Hang on. Yeah, it's a Petite Treasure Braid in PB01, which is a nice gold. And so I did the names of that. I wasn't going to bother doing these. So there we have it. Like I said, I just have to finish the last part. And I'm having issues with my tension in this frame, as you can see. So it sucks. Not the pattern, the frame. Because this is an old fake Q-snap. But with that said, let's put this away and move on to the next one. So this was another new start, and this one was actually not for my birthday project as the one after this, but I don't have it. But it is another NeeldeLot Designs. It is the friend. Look at my friend. I put this as a placeholder, pretend that that's stitched. But there we have it. There's my small start, my 1 day start on this. So this was literally, I started it on the same day, and I did all the black Yeah, this is, like I said, The Friend by NeeldeLot Designs. This is being stitched 1/2 on a piece of 40 count linen in the colourway Midsummer by Bee Stitch Me. This was actually that exclusive fabric I showed you guys, I think in the last video, if not the one before, from Midsummer Stitch. And like I said, I have worked on it for 1 day. I have done all the black outline. I just want to do the tarot number bit here and the friend. And I think I think there's some blacks in the frog itself, but I'll get to that when I get to it. But this fabric is really nice. I actually had my community over on Twitch help me pick this fabric for this project, because I gave them options. I had the friend with this fabric, or I had Summer's Day, which is another JedXStitch for this fabric, or a Megan fabric, a coffee craft fabric that looked almost the same as this but lighter. Like it was slightly lighter. So they picked this and I picked this side to do it on. I would cut my fabric down, but I'm scared, so I'm going to wait till it's done, then I can cut it, so I don't waste as much. I'm going to have to like probably fussy cut like a square out or something, which is going to suck. But yeah, 1 day, 381 stitches I put into this in that 1 day, and that's all that black. And I took it from 0% to 6.54%. So my plan for this, moving forward, is to obviously have it done. I probably won't have it done for a while though, because I just have a lot on my plate at the moment. I mean, you'll see when we get to the last project, because I'm trying to go in order of when I started them. But I started this, I think, on the 19th of August, because I was gridding my fabric for Saga, and that took so long because I had to put the frame together on stream and stuff. So, and this needle minder came from Ginger Stitch AU. I got it off Amazon because I needed something to get free shipping, and so I just picked this guy up, and he sits with the friend. Very nice. And like I said, the next project, which is Saga, I don't have, so I'll insert a picture of it here of what I've done. But this was my last new start for August, and this was a kind of birthday start, and it was preparation for Sampler September, which was starting literally the week after. Well, 2 weeks after, because we had the last week of August, then it was September. Didn't go to plan because I got sick. I took a few days off and I just couldn't stitch on it because my Lowry stand, I was using my table Lowry, and I have the scroll bar attachment for my table Lowry, but the problem is that I had it on the Painting Fairy black frame that I have, that the 6 portals is currently sat in, with all 3 bars, but that one only had the 2, and it was literally sitting like this half the time. I had to have it propped up on my desk to get it level, and it became quite a bit of a pain to keep moving it about, so I just gave up. Because I was working on it, so I was working on that top arch, and I was going from left to right, so I wanted to do all that archway, and then I wanted to come back to the beginning and fill it in, because I was using 2 silks for you, so like the picture will show, and I will insert the colour. I have coloured this, I actually recharted this to colour it, so I'll probably put a picture of that over as well, or side by side so you can see. But I am using PR043, again, silks for you, to do all the black border. Again, when I put the picture up, you'll see what I mean when I say black border. All the archways. And then I'm using PR38, which is a green to black to blue silk. And I'm using that to fill in parts of it, like when you see the picture you'll see what I mean. It's hard to explain it without having it, but I can see it in my head, so that helps. But like, you'll have the picture. I don't have the picture, but you guys will, so you'll be able to understand what I mean. And I'm stitching that on a piece of 40 count white even weave by Swigart, 1/2 full cross. And like I said, I started it in August. It was started the week of my birthday, because originally my procedure was supposed to be on the 18th, and I was going to work on that as a light week. Thank God I didn't have my procedure that week, because that would have put a damper on things, because my birthday was the Thursday. I ended up having it on the 29th, which is why there was no video to record, because I was drugged up essentially. But that's basically it for August. I can tell you my stats for August, like how many stitches I put in real quick, and then we'll do September, and then we'll do the September stats, and then we'll do the plans, and then that'll be it. So, in August, I put 12,228 stitches into every project. So every project I touched, 12,228 stitches, which is a nice number. We've not seen a big number like that since about May. Like, I don't really care about number of stitches. I just think it's fun to see at the end of the month how many stitches I've done. But that's August. So on to September, and to kick us off, we have another stitch along. Let's give it a Saga, and it is The Season's Dream Sal by Barbara Anna, and kicking us off is the Spring Dreamer. Look at her. So I had to stitch this funny because I was missing colours. I pulled all the colours for this out of my stash, and look at the little frog. And there's going to be bees. There's a bee coming in, I think, there. There's bees everywhere. But I love this so much. I love my Barbara Annas. I love everything about them. I have part 1, obviously. Part 2 is out now. They're releasing every other Friday. So part 2 is out. I obviously haven't started part 2 because I want to finish part 1. And yeah, so like I said, this is Spring Dreamer by Barbara Anna. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count linen, again by Megan from Coffee Craft Fabrics, so I don't have a name for it, but it's this light pinky grey, I guess, kinda. I don't know what you'd call this colour. The camera's not picking it up as accurate as I'd like. It's giving it a purple hue. It's definitely not purple. But I also have my froggy grind guard. But I started this on the 13th of September when part 1 released, or maybe the day after part 1 released, because I had to do stash stuff. And then I had to place an order for threads, and I think I'm missing one out of that still, which is just great, because there was an issue with my order, which I'm not going to go into because that's a whole thing. But as soon as I got the rest of the colours, I filled in her jacket or coat, whatever you want to call this, her cardigan, the froggy. There's a key here. It's a little hard to see with the camera, but there's a key here because Barbara Anna, there's always going to be a key. There's always going to be a lady with her eyes closed. There's going to be a key, and there's going to be an animal. Normally you have an animal in a dress. But so, all I have to do up here is the butterflies, some flowers, I think. It's hard to see from looking at this image, but there's a butterfly, there's a bee, there's a bird, 2 birds, I think, more bees, and rain, because spring is all about the rain. But let's talk stats for this. I put 2,320 stitches into this, bringing it from 0% to 80.89% in 5 days. Like, this had 5 stitching sessions. And like I said, it's a piece of 36 count, 1/2 full cross. And I'm doing all 4 on one piece of fabric. But my issue is, my piece of fabric's going to be a lot bigger than it needs to be for these. And thinking about it, like I always do after the fact, I should have started them maybe this way round, and maybe I could have fit all 4 in this way. Or I need to wait till part 3 comes out, because I think Barbara Anna's wants them to be in a row, but I might do 2x2. Because we have the placement for where this one, next one goes here, because we had to wait for part 2 to come out to see where they line up. But I wanna see if I can fit maybe 4 underneath. If they're all about the same size, I might have to move my frame down a little bit. But we'll see. Hopefully the next time you see this, part 1 and 2 will be done. Or at least part 1 and part 2 started. Because that's my plan. I didn't want to get behind on this. but with everything else going on, yeah. And I do also have plans once I finish this to start another stitch long that's actually still running at the moment. So we'll just have to see. Now our last project, I haven't brought it up yet. It's going to be a bit big, so I might have to enter this video and then restart the video to bring this over because I've got to move the camera. So I will be back in a minute. See you soon. Okay, and we are back with this behemoth. So this, as you all know if you saw my stitch with me last week, is Autumn Hollow, or The Six Portals by Rose Catherine Kahn, charted by Paine Crafts. This is massive, right? This, I am not lying, this piece of fabric was 50 inches wide. I have it on a 3-barred Painting Fairy scroll frame, which I bought especially for this. Well, I say I bought, my mum bought me it for my birthday. And this was a lot further than last time you saw it. Like, what I'll do in editing again is I will put a picture of where it should have been by now at the time of me originally recording this. And so I'm only going to give you stats for up until then, because we're going to leave it till the end of this month to do the extra stitches. But if you want to see what the full thing looks like, it is this. So I am starting on that leftmost one, which is Autumn Hollow, and then as I finish one, I will start the next one, which is the Sunbound Trail, and then Wildwater Cascade. I forget what the others are called, but those are it's going to take me years to finish this one. So I am starting, obviously, as you can see in the top left hand corner. This is a piece of 28 count one, and I'm stitching at 1/1, full cross in the diagonal method, as you can see. Now this was a full kit, and the lengths are shorter than my lengths. I like to say I have the Freddie Mercury meme length of thread. I was trying to say floss and thread together there. I'm not cutting that out, you guys can hear me mess up. This is basically what a stream's like when I talk. So yeah, so up until the stitch with me and me working on it on streams, I put in 1,120 stitches, bringing it from 0% to 0.12%. Because remember, this thing has almost 1 million stitches. It has 964,800 total stitches. At the moment, I'm like 2,000 in, so yay me. And we have reached, with this stitch right here, the bottom of this diagonal, this is the bottom page 1. Somewhere in here, this blue line right here, it's a bit hard to see, that's page 1. So a page on a Paine Crafts chart is 50 by 70, and you know what, I love that so much, because with HAEDs, I've only ever worked on a HAED and a Gecko Rouge, but they're not proper full coverage charts, so I'm not counting them in this comparison. I'm talking like, because I haven't started one yet. Technically I have though. I have the Gamer, but we don't talk about that one at the moment. But comparing this chart to a HAED, a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, the pages are so much nicer. They're smaller, so it feels like you're making more progress. Like on a HAED, a page would be about 80 stitches, so about here would be the first page, and it'd be like 70, 80, 90 something down here. But what I love so much about this, not only is it 50 by 70, it's 50 each. So each page would be 50. So the next page is 100, then 150. That's 100, 150, and so on and so forth. And I've drawn lines on every page break, and I've drawn my diagonal lines. And I've also, if I just twist you guys around here a little bit, this blue line here is the edge of my portal. So that's the page, and that's the edge of the first portal. So that's how far I am. And the way I'm breaking this down whoops, there we go, is because it's so big, to break down these pages so I'm not going too far over. I'm only doing 2 by 2 pages, so 2 across and 2 down. But then I think about it, I might do 2 across, 1 down, then 2 across, then 1 down, because I need to move the frame, because page 1 is here, page 2 is there. You can't see, hang on, wait, where's my hand? Here it is. So page 1, page 2, height-wise, because it's 70, then 140. I just love it so much because that's how big a page is. Oh, look at that. And I might, if I'm feeling really nice, which I am, I might, once I finish with this Flosstube, I might just sit and record this for an hour and a half and make another Stitch with me. Since so many of you love the first one, I've had the most subscribers come in through that video than any of these. Which is fine, but it just makes me laugh that the ones where I talk too much, no one wants to watch, but the ones where I'm like, quiet, people want to watch. I did make this comparison on my stream. But basically, what you see in a Stitch with me is kind of what it's like at my stream, except I'm talking the entire time. But we listen to music, we chat nonsense sometimes, we talk about our issues, mostly mine because, you know, I'm the one that's streaming. And we just have a jolly good time. And I did actually work on this all week on the 22nd. So I actually started this on the Monday, the 22nd of September, because it was the full equinox. So I started right up here. Technically I started here and I did at least 2 diagonals on my stream, and I worked on it for a whole week from Monday to Thursday. And then I have rearranged my stream schedule because I only put 4 days into this and I loved it. My stream loves it. Like, they are so excited to see this. And I'm glad. So I have now added Fridays to my schedule. So if you would like to come watch me work on this, it's not going to be every single Friday. I am alternating Fridays because I want to also play games on stream again. Because I was playing, like I said, when I was sick. I was streaming some games and I really enjoyed it. So yesterday, which was Friday, I worked on this. Then next Friday is a gaming stream. But if you want to see this, the next Friday after that will be this. The Friday after that will be Hollow Knight, which is the game I'm playing. And then the Friday after that, I'm off. I'm not streaming because I'm going to be recording my Flosstube. And maybe recording a Stitch with me. Because that might be easy if after I do a Flosstube, I do a Stitch with me. Because I've already got this out, I might as well. Rather than putting this away, getting it back out. I mean, I have to put this away anyway to put everything, all my other projects away first. But, you know, that's so simple. And I have to open Pattern Keeper, so I can do that. But yeah, let me stop the recording again and put this down, and then I'll say my goodbyes. And we're back for the final time. So there you have it. There's all my projects. I should say that 1120 stitches I put into the 6 portals, I did do it in 4 days because, like I said, I worked on it Monday to Thursday, sorry. But let's just go over my September stats and my plans for the upcoming months, and then that'll be me done. And then I can edit this and throw it up soon, hopefully. So, as of the 25th of September, I had put 9,381 stitches into all of my projects that I worked on in September. Now, like I said at the start, some of these projects that I've shown you today I did work on in both August and September. I didn't want to overload you with too many numbers whilst I was going through, so I did try to combine August and September numbers into some of them, but things like Divine Beast I definitely did because that was easier, but I only I only focused on new starts for September, which was just the 2, because like I said, I combined everything else because I didn't want to be like bringing projects back out to say, oh look, we worked on this again, and it would have been annoying. So yeah, so my plans for October or whenever really, is to finish Cherry Magpie soon, hopefully, so I can start Blueberry J. But I need to wait for the fabric to come back in stock, so I might be waiting. Oh look, my frame's giving me the black mark. Finish the Divine Beasts, now part 3 is out, which is going to be easy. Keep up with the season's dream Sal, which I'm already behind, so that's technically already a fail. But as long as I get it done, then it works. Oh, I should say the season's dream Sal by Barbara Anna is on her Ko-fi. Like how NeeldeLot's is on her Ko-fi, on NeeldeLot's Ko-fi. Barbara Anna is using her Ko-fi a lot more now. And it's amazing because with Creative Poppy, who she used to be with for her charts, you used to get a password and you had to type it in. If you missed like a number or you missed a letter or you didn't put a caps lock on where it's supposed to be, it'd be like wrong password. Sometimes you could even type in exactly as it put and it'd still say it was wrong. So I ended up, as soon as I would get the PDF open with the password, I would print a copy, like save to PDF, a non-password version, because it was just a pain, like I said. So I'm glad that she's no longer with, I shouldn't say she's no longer with, she could still be with Creative Poppy, but it seems like she's moving over to her Ko-fi, because she used to only use her Ko-fi for the kit exclusive things she used to do with this other collaborator, but because I think they're Russian based, there was issues with getting kits out to people. So, and because they were exclusives, you couldn't get hold of the chart. So now she's released them on her Ko-fi. I now have almost every single one. I'm a big collector, but it's been a bit difficult to collect at the moment. So after Season's Dreams is done, I did say that there was another stitch along I wanted to start, and that is Flossie Fox Shop's Flower Dragon Meadow Sal. Parts 1 and 2 are already out. Part 3 is probably going to be out soon as well, and that's how behind I am. But I do have it all kitted up. I have the fabric ready to go. So as soon as the last stitch into Season's Dream is done, I can start Flower Dragon Meadows. And then my next plan is to, and this is like a big maybe, start the Swans, because I've kind of fallen off of the must get one done a month because I've got everything else going on. And with me wanting to make as much progress as I can on the 6 portals, because that's going to take me years otherwise. I mean, it's still going to take me years, but I want it to be done before, I was going to say before I hit 30. But that's useless because I'm 28 now. So I'm not going to finish it in 2 years. One of my friends on my stream was like, oh my god, you can finish it in 5 years because you do one a year. And I was like, that's very optimistic. Unless I forgot about stitching and stitching and diamond painting on all my other projects, then maybe I could get one done a year. But I need diversity. If I have no choice, like Monogamy was pushing it for me to work on one project. By the end, I was itching to start something or to work on something else. So with me only working on this on Fridays and in my own time, like on the weekends, that's enough for me to not get bored. And I can also work on it after streams if I have the energy and I'm not already working on a cross stitch. Like on Monday, I worked on a mystery painting on stream, and so I was like, you know what? I'm done with the mystery painting for today. I'm going to work on the 6 portals. So I did. Everyone says I'm addicted. They're not wrong. I definitely am. I definitely love it. But I just need this done, you know? But my last plan, and this isn't cross-stitching related, it's diamond painting related. I am so close to finishing mystery kit number 82, which is an animal one. And I have started another mystery kit, which is 83, also an animal one. That's not confusing at all. But that one, 83, is a birthday present for my sister. But I'm having issues with diamond painting at the moment. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's from having that cold. It's messed with my ears and that. Because if I have my neck bent to look over my desk for too long, I get dizzy. So Wednesday was a really rough day for me because on Monday, Tuesday, I was diamond painting, so I had my head bent. So we'll see. I'm going to try it on my frame to see if that improves, and maybe I can finish it. If I finish that mystery kit, I'm going to start my Halloween mystery kit, which I love. I know what it is, but I love it. But anyway, before I ramble anymore and this video becomes even longer, I am gonna head off here. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully next month I won't miss next month, and I won't do two videos in one. Hopefully I'll go back to one a month. It's just August was a bit of a weird month, so hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully it's not too longer video. I will cut out what I need to make it as short as I can make it, but if it ends up being an hour long, sorry. Look, you'll get a stitch with me to make up for it, so sorry, not sorry, I guess. But thank you all for watching once again. I will see you at the end of at the end of October for October's wrap up, plans for November, and we're getting close to the end of the year, guys. I don't really do Christmas projects, so you won't see any of that from me, and a whip parade will probably come in the new year, just to let you know. But that's it, I am done. Just be sure to please like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw, and maybe turn that notification bell on so you get notified when I upload a new video, especially if you want to watch the stitch with me's, because like I said, I'm going to try and get them recorded and uploaded more frequently. It's just a little difficult with my schedule being so full. So, once again, take care everyone. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.